was a good piece of two-strike hitting. All right, that's two-strike hitting. There you go, brother. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but I'm interacting out here with Yankee fans. It's pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy, and we are thankful that Alex Verdugo of the Boston Red Sox is joining us on another episode of the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of Jomboy Media. You better be careful, young man, or the Yankee fans are going to start liking you.
Yeah, it's actually funny. From that incident, I had some Yankee fans kind of be like, am I really liking Alex Verdugo from the Red Sox right now? Like, this can't happen. But no, that was just cool, man. That was one of the cooler baseball moments that I've had. That guy, his name was Mark, actually. So, he was just, kind of jawing at me, but like, I playfully was, jawing right back with him, like, prior to this, the whole game. And at that point, I was like, hey, bro, you're my dog. Like, I had just got that hit too, so. I went and showed him some love, and then actually right after that, he grabbed his phone. He was like, "Hey, I got tickets for tomorrow, same spot." And so I was like, "Heck yeah, bro! Come on, I'm here. I'm gonna be right here." So he made those couple days real fun, and kind of got the fans really into it.
All right, so what happens then? Because the Yankees fans are treated to hate you if you're on the visiting team. If you are from Boston, they're going to treat you like dog shit. So were they nice to you the rest of the week?
No, not at all. Not at all. They were absolutely ruthless. It wasn't them being nice at all, man. They did everything they could, man. They were chanting, family members' names. They were chanting Mookie Betts. They were, they went crazy. I think they even had they were doing like the arm thing, and they were asshole. I was like, is this directed towards me? And then they're all, yeah. So I was like, oh my God. But but it was just, like I said, that guy right there, I was mainly turning around and talking to him and like messing around with him. And then other fans from higher up would see and be like, that was their chance. Like, boom, give him the bird, boom, like yell. And they were pretty crazy, man. But it was a lot of fun though, because I was laughing like the whole time. I'm not gonna lie.
So you can hear it. Like, some guys just say, I don't hear it. It's just white noise. You can hear it when you're on the field.
Yeah, like it depends, because there is times where it's white noise, it's just kind of drowned out, or you can hear something, you just can't fully comprehend what's being said. For me there, man, the Bronx, they yell so loud, like their voice, like they're used to screaming out there. So, I feel like, and I'm playing deep because some of the guys like on the Yankees, they got power. So I'm like right by the warning track, and it's just like, they're right there, man. I can hear it.
Was there one thing that somebody said where you laughed and you were like, okay, that was pretty funny?
Shoot.
Or somewhere, maybe not in the Bronx, but somewhere where you've heard it and you were like, okay, that's
I
creative.
mean, there's been some funny ones. I can't think of it like off the top like that, but I definitely know that there's been a couple guys that have like said some stuff, and I got a good laugh out of it, and I had to like turn around and just give him like a little glove tilt. I was like, that was a good one.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna start actually on those altercations. I'm gonna go in the dugout and write it down. I'm gonna say, bro, I gotta keep this, just because my memory is, I'm always thinking about the game, thinking about like a lot of stuff. So like those things will kind of escape me. But yeah, there's been some fans that have kind of got under, like made me laugh, like real good laugh, and I was like, I kind of like this guy.
See, now what you got to do is bring like a mini notepad and just put it in your back pocket. You know how you guys have those little cards for defensive alignments and stuff? Bring a mini notepad and just write down the really funny ones. And then
that'd be great until you slide on your pen.
What? So you take it out when you're running around the bases. How often do you slide on your ass in the outfield? If you're diving, you're usually diving chest first. You're going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Julio, like JD, he's always going basket catch. You know what I mean? Boom, basket catch. And sometimes like I gotta do it too. I've been kind of doing it. I haven't been diving too much.
So you grew up in Tucson, Arizona. Did you get to many Diamondbacks games when you were a kid?
I got to a couple, not too many, but I did get to a few. I played a lot of baseball, like travel ball, going to
Right.
Phoenix and playing out there. So, already being up there, like I went to a few. It was probably like the Diamondbacks and the Boston Red Sox were like my favorite teams. Like obviously Diamondbacks just because they were close enough for me to watch them, and then Boston was like my real favorite team. But obviously, like being from Tucson, I wasn't going to go out to Massachusetts.
So how do you become a Red Sox fan? Just because they started getting good in 04 and started winning titles when you were growing up in your formative years, or is it a family thing, or what is it?
I think it's just like partially like you said, like when I was younger watching them, they were good. They were playing good, exciting. Like, and it felt like ESPN was always playing like the Red Sox versus the Yankee series. Like
they still do
every time. So I was like, all right, yeah, like I'm watching it. Ended up falling in love with like David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez. I liked watching Kurt Schilling's pitch, Josh Beckett. I like Coco Chris, Mike Lowell. Like there was a lot of guys on that team that, Jason Varitek, like it just JD Drew. I mean, Jacoby Ellsbury, like it goes on. Like those guys, like they all kind of had something and brought something to the table, whether it was their attitude, skill, like all of them were talented and skillful, but, just watching them all go about it, all play, all hit, and hearing announcers talk about them. And like, it just kind of like maybe like, I was like, dude, I really like the Red Sox. Like I didn't plan on being a fan, but just ended up, I was like, I love these guys. And my favorite color is red. So it just kind of like was already gravitated that way. I was like, I like watching, I like seeing their uniforms.
So when you, had you ever seen the Red Sox play before you actually played for the Red Sox or anything? Did you go, because they don't come out to Arizona very often?
I feel like they played the Diamondbacks at some point. Cause I think we were sitting like on the visiting side of the D-back stadium. And I'm pretty sure David Ortiz is walking on deck and my dad's like yelling at him, like, David, say hi. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, Dad, chill. Like, he's not gonna respond right now, dude. He's trying to get locked into the game. And cause he never looked back or like responded. He was just like straight, boom, like that. I was like, Dad, I probably wouldn't look back either. So I was like, you can't get mad at him for that.
Yeah, but then there's that great video after you got traded of you hugging Poppy. Was that the first time you had a chance to meet him? And if so, did you like revert back to being a 10-year-old kid?
Yeah, that was literally the absolute first time I met him, man. I was like, it was kind of like weird because I really don't have those people that like make me feel that way or like make me go back to being a kid like that. I'm pretty, pretty, I guess, like a man about it, where I'm like, hey, yeah, that's cool, like, but he's still another man, like, you know what I mean? Still another cool dude, like. But yeah, David, it was just weird, man. It was like, I was like, oh my God, like, is he glowing? You know what I mean? Just like, this is David Ortiz, bro. I hugged him and I was like, this dude is huge, bro. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, no wonder why this guy hit balls the way he did. But it was just, it's one of those things. And I got to talk to him a little bit more after that. And, off camera and stuff like that. And it's just, he's a funny guy and an absolute, like, just a legend, man. He was great to talk to. He's one of those guys, when he walks into a room, he lights up the room. You know what I mean? Like the attention, everything. You're like, you stop what you're doing for a second. You're like, who? Oh shit, that's David. Okay, that's Big Poppy. Like, no, he's just he lights it up, man. He's cool. He's one of those guys for me for sure.
I loved the look on your face when you were about ready to hug him, because it looked like you were a 10-year-old. And I think that is the best part of sports, is that here on the Chris Rose rotation, we hear from our co-hosts all the time, like when they had a chance to meet somebody, a big leaguer or somebody that was important in their life, like, it's okay to let your guard down, dude. Like, it's important. I think that's something that you are doing so well, is you're breaking down that wall between pro athlete and fan. We've seen you interacting. We saw that great viral video of you teaching somebody about hitting. Is that something that is important to you?
Yeah, I like to be like, I'm a big believer, like treat people like how you want to be treated. And, I know like it could be easy to get frustrated or, impatient or just kind of like, you want to just go from point A to B without anybody seeing you or asking for autographs or pictures. But like, I enjoy it, man. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy talking to fans. I'm 25 right now, but I still obviously feel young and
Hold on.
connected to
Feel
like,
young? Alex, stop. You
well,
just said you're 25.
yeah,
Yet
but
you
I
are
meant
young.
like, like that little kid in me, man. Like I still have that like little kid in me where, it's just, I know how it is if like I was in another situation, like, if I really loved baseball, like watching it and I had like that super guy and like if I was a kid and I got to meet David Ortiz, you know what I mean? Like that's how I think about it, I guess, is my way of saying it. Or if I got to like when I was a kid, I really liked Ken Griffey Jr. as well. Like, if I could have been like and seen these guys there, like heard anything from them, got, just whatever advice, talked, that would have been really cool. So for me, it's just, I kind of do the same thing, and I see these fans like, the one in Minnesota with the hitting video was just, they were actually waiting for, I think, the home player to come out. And I just happened to be there, talking to my family. They walked away and they came over here running and just, I like their vibe, man. I like the look in their faces, the actual, I guess like the actual, like it meant something to them. You know what I mean? Like they were actually engaged and like wanted to hear it. It wasn't like, one of those kids just try to be like a smart ass or, just kind of like just mess around with you. So like when you see that and you see the seriousness in their faces, like I feel like the least I can do is like talk to you and give you a little like perspective of what I think. It might not necessarily translate to them or work for them, but it is another point of view that they could potentially just kind of take in and do what they want with it.
You know what you gave him? You gave him a memory. Dude, that's what it's about, man. I mean, like sometimes when we're all involved in the game, I've been on the outskirts of it. Obviously, I've never played, but I've been fortunate enough to be around 15 World Series and stuff like that. Like, don't ever take the arena that we're all in for granted. And you're passing that along. I think that's so good and so important.
Definitely.
So,
I would agree. I mean, like you said, this game is so hard and you never know how long you're going to be here for, you know what I mean? And injuries and everything like that. So you just take every day for kind of not like it's your last, but just
but
with
appreciate
that motto.
it. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do is appreciate it. It's awesome. But it's funny. You did have the chance to meet some legends when you were a kid and you started being one of the dudes and playing in the Under Armour game at Wrigley Field and stuff like that. I saw pictures with you and Barry Larkin. I saw pictures of you and Cal Ripken. I saw you in pictures of Mike Cameron and stuff. Like when you are meeting these guys, do you remember the feeling?
Yes, I remember these guys, dude. I remember seeing freaking Cal Ripken was what got me. Like Bill Ripken was super funny, like hands down funny as heck. Great guy. But like when I saw Cal, just like, seeing the size of him, and I was like, dude, this guy played all those games. Like what? Like, and I was like looking at Biggie, and I was like, this is it. And just like the fact that he holds that record, it kind of just like makes me like, my eyes, like my brain hurts trying to like think about that. Like, like we're not even talking about like slumping, like mental, just a mental breather. Like we're talking about everything physically. He went through it all. Just kind of like he had a lot of different batting stances for like how he felt that day or what he wanted to do. So it was just, he's an Iron Man, bro. It was absolutely crazy. So when I met him, it was cool. But like at the same time, when I meet them and I'm that young, it's like, I wanted to kind of like not play that cool card, but like be like, I'm gonna be a big leaguer. Like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't want to like be so like head over heels for like, oh man, like I was like that, but I was also like, I'm gonna be in the bigs though, guys. Like I'm gonna do what you guys are doing too. I'm sure, like, I think Mike for sure, because Mike called me laser. So I don't know if he remembers that or not, but We were at that thing, and he's like, I seen you hitting. He's like, you hit nothing but lasers, man. You're a laser show. And so like that, I just kind of stuck with me with Mike, man. I thought he was always cool as heck. So, but that was one thing that like they would kind of say.
So you were the top. I went back and read the draft prospect list. You were the top two-way player coming out of high school that year. People don't know that you were a stud pitcher. Could you have been Shohei Ohtani?
Oh no, nobody can be Shohei Ohtani. Let's just make that clear. This guy is a video game, all right? He's nuts. But I definitely could feel like I could pitch, you know what I mean? I feel like it would not be a starter. I wouldn't want to be a starter. I would probably want to, play the outfield, do what I do, and come in the eighth or the ninth, or come in to get a tough out or something like that. That would be cool. But those dreams, man, that would be like 2-3 years away. I would have to build up arm strength again. I would have to do a lot of throwing program and try to get the arm going again.
But wait a second, you could do it, you think?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I want to. I at some point, I really do want to. Like whether it's like I said, 2 years, 3. I don't know how long, but I want to start. In my off seasons, I'm gonna start. Really incorporating a throwing program and taking care of my arm better, like kind of how I did when I was a two-way, because my arm felt a lot better for outfield throws and everything. So I know it's going to benefit me at least in the outfield to, get my throws even harder than what I'm at right now. And, like I said, it never hurts to kind of get on the bump one day and maybe they see a 96, 97 and their eyebrows go up a little bit. I don't know.
So I have a feeling you're bugging the shit out of Alex Cora if there's ever a blowout. Like you're going up to him and you're like, Skip, it's the time to unleash the dragon.
No, not too much. Like I said, not too much this year because, like my biggest thing this year is like, hey, I want to stay healthy. I want to play a full season. I want to, do all this. And once I have like a couple years of doing that, then it's like I said, we train a little different in the off season and we're built up for it.
Okay,
this year, like if I got on the bump this year, I would just throw knuckles and maybe sneak in a hard one.
Knuckles? You're a knuckleballer?
I have a knuckle. Yeah, I'm not a knuckle baller, but I like if I pitched in a few years, I will feature a knuckleball.
Could you strike a guy out right now?
I want to say yes. I want to say yes. Like it depends. Like I mean, I'll strike out Julio, JD Martinez. I'll strike him out.
Hold on. Does he know you?
Yep.
You said this to him?
Wait, I've said this to him. I love Julio, man. He's my guy. Like the banter, the way we talk to each other, he's made this year super fun for me. And it's cool to have like a veteran kind of, take you under a little bit and try to like, just make you do the right things and just really like teach you more. So for us, we have a really good banter though, man. We always are jawing at each other and getting under each other's skins. And, he's my guy. So but I think I got him.
And what does he say when you say that you can strike him out?
He says no chance, obviously. But, I told him, hey, you don't know about this little high spin rate four seam up in the zone, bud. And then with 2 strikes, I'm going to bring out the knuckle. And he's going to be like, wait a minute. And I threw him my knuckle too, and it almost broke his wrist. So he's like, yeah, he's crazy, man. That he's hilarious.
Hey, can I read you the scouting report on you from, I believe this is from Bleacher Report, right after the Dodgers took you in the second round that year. And they were talking about your chances of signing were 85%. I think you were committed to ASU though, right?
Yeah, but I really wasn't going to go to ASU.
All right, well, so here's the scouting report. Even though Verdugo isn't a first-round talent, it's easy to see why a team would go over slot to sign a player like him because of his versatility. If you want to try him in the outfield, there's value in that. If you want to immediately put him in the rotation, you're going to get a mid-rotation starter.
That's not bad. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty.
You just
You
said
know,
you wanted no part of the rotation, though. You said you're a bullpen. Could you, if you had just done pitching,
I
you
would
could
have
have been
started.
you would have been a starter.
Yeah, I would have started probably for sure. Just to have the one every 5-day life. You know what I mean? Just, hey, I got this day, 4 days off. I got this day. Like that would be. But you know, like I put it this way. I like to pitch, but I love to hit. You know what I mean? Like that's how I always would tell scouts. And like my thing is I hated the fact that they made us choose one. You know what I mean? I really wish that right out of high school they would have let me just do the two-way in pro ball and like never lose that feel of, you know, working those certain muscles, because different muscles engage when you're on top of a mound going downhill. And like, you know, average fans like maybe don't know about that, but like players that understand, like, you know, even just when on blowout games, like, you know, they'll go up there and throw 70 and they'll come off and be like, dude, I'm a little sore, like my lat or my, you know, because you just work different muscles. And, you know, I wish that, you know, being drafted, I would have just continued that trend. Maybe, you know, just they would have watched my pitch load, or, you know, just thrown just a couple innings here and there, you know, a couple other few days. But, you know, obviously that didn't happen. And it's just, like I said, I think we could get to the point in this game where like the Shoheis, you know, I think there's a McKay guy that's doing it as well.
Yeah, for Tampa Bay
pitcher. Yeah. Uh-huh. So, you know, I feel like, you know, why not open that door back up? You know, Rob keeps talking about trying to make this game fun, or do all two-way guys is fun, you know, like,
hey,
and
there's nothing better than watching Shohei. I stop what I'm doing. It's appointment viewing, whether he is on the mound or swinging a bat. And I guarantee you guys feel the same way in the clubhouse. If you're playing at a different time than the Angels and you see him up, you're like, I got to see what Show's doing.
Yeah, you got to see if he's going to hit the home run. I mean, he's unbelievable. You know, he's going to hit something hard, and you just got to see it. But yeah, no, I think that'd be really cool for the game too, though.
Yep.
Just to see two-way players kind of get that opportunity. And, you know, obviously I feel like you could talk about, oh, you're going to get injured more, you're going to get all this more, but it's like, you know, just learn how to manage it. That's really the biggest thing.
So I'm curious, did you use sticky stuff when you were a pitcher?
No. I was in high school, man. I had no idea about sticky stuff. I would have had the little sticky stuff, man. I feel like I could have probably got like a 99 in there, you know, because you don't have to pull down as hard or really do so. I don't know. I feel like it would just let me really throw it and not feel like the ball's going to sail and hit the backstop.
So, you know, we're taping this on the first day of the new implementation policy where pitchers are going to get checked. Are you happy about it, or do you not give a shit?
Bro, I really don't care. So like that's the funny thing. Like I'm so neutral about this. Like I met like our pitchers, because like, you know, there's pitchers that are like feeling some types of way about it, obviously. Like, you know, whether it's the abrupt, like, hey, you're going absolutely cold turkey of everything, you know, sunscreen, rosin including. It's like, you know, people don't like that. And hey, I think it is what it is. You know, I wouldn't mind if pitchers, you know, were allowed to use sunscreen and rosin just to get a little more stick. I don't care. Like, for me, the high spin rate, you know, like, yeah, stuff was breaking a little sharper and it made it a little bit tougher, but it like, I'm not a big strikeout guy. You know, I kind of put the barrel on the ball and just, you know, kind of take what is given to me, I guess. And like that video in New York, you know, that ball was 94, you know, at like my neck, and I just kind of, you know, chopped at it and hit a base hit to left. So it's like the high spin rate, like that stuff doesn't really bother me as much. Like I just feel like you find ways to adjust and adapt during the games. And, you know, if you kind of like, that's the whole thing of filling out a pitcher that day. Like, you're all, hey, his stuff is sharp, like his breakers, boom, boom, or his thing is boom, boom. So then, you know, maybe I go a little bit aggressive for the first pitch I see if it's a heater away, and I just try to shoot it. Like, so I'm really neutral with that whole substance stuff, man. I do agree, like, with the spider tack and, like, you know, melting stuff and concocting stuff. Like, that probably shouldn't be there, but you know what I mean? But sunscreen and rosin, like that should be allowed. And, you know, guys should be able to rub their arms and get a little something on it. And
Got it.
I really don't care, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's definitely fair. So you're an emotional guy. What was it like the day you got drafted by the Dodgers?
So it was like, for me, it's weird to say, because, you know, everybody, like, I tell people where I got drafted and they're like, you know, you got drafted high. Like, but for me, it wasn't high. Like, you know, I got drafted in the second round, I think 62nd overall. And obviously I was happy about it. You know, it was good enough for me to sign, but at the time, like I was trying to be, you know, not necessarily the top 5, top 10. I was just trying to be in that, like, you know, middle round, first rounder. Like, that's kind of what I was like leaning for. So
hold on, you were pissed. This sounds like you were pissed.
Yeah, like, you know, I was, but like that was the dumb thing too, because like looking back, like people get drafted, you know, people get $5,000 to come play, and people, like, you know, they're non-drafted people just come. So it's like I was pissed in just like a high maintenance way, you know, like I wanted more and I expected more, like, but that's just how I am for myself. Like I seen some guys go, you know, ahead of me, and I was kind of like, you know, I was like, oh, all right. Like, you know, and hey, like, you know, maybe there was some like little, you know, things out there. Some maybe they were just scared that they didn't know like how my emotions would translate and, you know, how I would be, maybe, I don't know. But I just kind of took it as motivation, man. I just said, you know, there were 61 people that went in front of me. Like, I didn't feel like it should have been that way. And, you know, just, I continued to learn, pick people's brains, and that just kind of like forced me to like try to get to the big leagues faster.
So were you a hothead growing up? I mean, it sounds like
so. I think so.
Were you? It's okay if you were.
I mean, like not in a bad, not bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was a little bit like crazy, a little bit wild, you know, like I like to have a good time and get angry too, but, you know, nothing like too vicious. And I just think, like, you know, it just maybe scared people, you know, because there was a couple games too that we pitched against, like I would play against, you know, some rival high schools that we really didn't like, and, you know, emotions would flare for sure.
Oh.
So, but
so you were a shit talker.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Well, give me a for instance. I want to hear a good rivalry story.
I mean, I know like there's been several instances on baseball, like, you know, me pitching and stuff. Like there's times where, you know, I remember I think I was a freshman, had the bases loaded. Not sure how they kind of got loaded, and I was just so mad, man. I just ended up rearing back, telling every hitter, like the next 3 hitters, I had 0 outs. Next 3 hitters, I just kept telling them fastball, and I was just and just struck out the side. You know what I mean? And then I know there was a club, I was playing club ball in Chicago, and once again, like those travel teams, they kind of sometimes they get weird, you know, and like people were talking smack and you know, kind of getting under our players' skins, and you know, I ended up just striking out like, you know, 7 in a row, 8 in a row, and was just blowing doors off people, just boom. And and like me and my shortstop at the time were like just jawing back to each other, like they're all, hey man, they can't catch up, they can't hit nothing. I was like, bro, it's way too hard for them. They ain't seeing it. And then so like, yeah, like there was, you know, just several just like dumb things. Like we just messed around. Nothing too like, I wasn't big into like, I guess, you know, striking somebody out and like, you know, looking at the hitter and like what's up? Like I wasn't really that guy like that. Like I was more just like, I was more like I would hear the fans or I would hear the coaching from the other team kind of chirping about me. And like that would piss me off. And it was like, I'm going to blow these guys up so that way I can like kind of look at the fans or look at the coaches. And it was what it was. But high school was crazy too, but yeah, just like I said, I'm always in a weird mental state when I pitch. Like I remember a good amount of it, but then there's also stuff like I don't really remember because I'm so locked in.
So did you play another sport, or were you just all channeled baseball? Because you
All
could have
channeled baseball.
really, you could have been a hell of a football player with that sort of emotion, man.
Yeah, I honestly, our football player tried to our football coach tried to have me dude, I was like, nah, man, no way. Like, I'm not, no way. Football players are a different breed. You know what I mean? They're a whole different breed, and you gotta respect that. Like, I don't. I played when I was like, I think Pee-wee or something, whatever. You're a little guy, and like my coach yelled at everything. Like at the time, he would just scream. Didn't matter if I made a good play, anything, touchdown, like stop somebody. Like he would just scream, and I was like, Mom, all this guy does is yell, dude. Like I don't want to be here anymore. Like, this is terrible. You know what I mean? And then my mom, like that coach actually got kicked out of the league that year. You know what I mean? He got kicked out of the league. He would just yell, and he ruined it for me. Absolutely ruined. I said, Mom, these guys are crazy. Like, I don't want to be here. Like, I'm just like, this coach is yelling. I just scored a touchdown. He's yelling at me. I said, no way. Went back to baseball, said, dude, this is all I'm going to play. And then I'd play some basketball on the side too, but like never competition like that. Like we would run some at the Y or, at a gym or something or in school, but never official.
You a shooter? What are you?
I'm a shooter more than anything. Yeah. I'm not going to lie to nobody, man. Like my handles definitely need work. I'm a lefty dominant. You know what I mean? I got the left drive, right side. I'm so open. I'm weak. But I got an absolute wetter. You know what I mean? So I make up for it.
Best on the team? Best on the Sox?
Ooh, I don't know. We don't really shoot. You know what I mean? I last time I shot a basketball was in the off season. So it's been like not even in
spring training's for. Let's roll a hoop out and see who's got game.
Well, I mean, actually, I smoked Barnes. Matt Barnes. He likes to. Yeah, he's not really a shooter, but he can get on a roll, and he's more of like he surprised me, sneaky athletic, surprised me. He can get up, gets boards, but we had a shooting competition, and this was in spring training, and I went, and I was like, all right, bro, like let's go, let's do this, So we just go 3-point line, and I end up hitting 17 out of 20, like whatever it is. And he's just trying to catch up. Like at this point, he's trying to catch up. Like he hit he was hitting he missed a few, he missed a lot at the first. And then he gets on a little sneaky streak that kind of brought him closer to me. And then I just kind of took off again. I hit I didn't miss to start. I didn't miss for the first 12. And then I think the first about 12, and I missed 1 or 2, and then I went back on it. I went wah, 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 and I ended it, and then he just was like, we're gonna have to run that back at some point. But
you closed out the closer. Way to go.
Yeah, I got him. Got him. I had to. I had ice in my veins at that point.
It sounds like Boston is a perfect place for you. But were you pissed when the Dodgers called you and said, we're trading you?
Yeah, I mean, I think, at the time, but that's reasonably so. I don't think anybody wants to get traded. And, especially for me in LA at the time, I was just, starting to come into my own, finally got my starter role, had just got injured. And it's you have a lot of thoughts in your mind, you just get injured and you're kind of dude, this team just give up on me. This team really just traded me while I'm down, at my worst. You know what I mean? I've never been hurt like this in my life. And I'm finally dealing with a real injury. And just to get traded away, you're damn, that's tough, but mine was I was more sad because of the fan base. I loved LA's fans. Those,
and they loved you, dude. They connected with you.
The fans for me were so special, man. They made they made my time in LA like what it was to me. You know, if I didn't have the fans like that, like I wouldn't have had the same you know, the same feelings, the same emotions that run through me to this day about it. Cause I remember, you know, Kenta was pitching one day on my birthday and they started singing me, the whole outfield singing me happy birthday. And like, you could hear it in the broadcast. Man, it was just, dude, that was one of those moments. Like I had to look around. I was like, dude, my heart was like fluttering. I was like, oh, dude, this is sick. This is what dreams, like, this is like what you're like in a little kid. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like really my rookie season. Cause like, it was my first full-time playing every day. And like, the guys just loved me. And it was super cool. But, you know, with that being said, obviously getting traded, going over to Boston, like getting with the training staff, getting with these guys and understanding like what they're about and, you know, the face-to-face, the everyday, like, hey man, we understand, like, if you're in the lineup, like we're going to do whatever you need, like for every guy, like, doesn't matter if you're starting, doesn't matter if you're coming in off the bench, like they just, the treatment, the preventative stuff, the workout, everything that they do is just so in tune with each individual player that, you know, it was a big difference for me. And like, you know, just kind of coming over, like I said, I really realized like, hey, I loved LA and the fans, like they will always be like, have a special place in my heart. Like they're really, really cool to me. And like, I'll always have love for them and like say what's up and take care of them like that. But, you know, Boston, like playing here, seeing like the staff, the team, the chemistry, I feel like this was, this was like a perfect fit. So it's just,
and you went from
where
one
I
crown
needed
jewel
to
to another in the sport. There's nothing wrong with that. Did you watch the World Series last year?
Be honest, like I watched a little bit, but I really didn't watch too much of it like that.
Was it because it was too painful?
No, it wasn't necessarily painful, you know, because like I was still happy for the guys. Like I still knew a lot of the guys that got World Series rings there. Like they're like, you know, it just kind of, it did suck a little. I was like, dang, like I missed it by 1 year, you know? But then also it was like, you know, I was happy for them, but you know, at the same time, I was like, hey, let's get to work. Like I gotta get my own, like, you know what I mean? Like that's the biggest thing. I can't sit here and pout and mope and say, oh, I just didn't get my ring. Like, nah, who cares, man? Like, whatever. I got to get one with Boston. That's that simple.
That's why they'll love you there. And feel free to say, Chris, that's a dumb fucking question. This one. Is there anything good when you get traded and the guy you're getting traded for is Mookie Betts? Is there anything, does that even register for you guys? Because as fans, we look and we're like, damn, Alex Verdugo got traded for an MVP and a likely future Hall of Famer. Or does that not register with you?
I mean, I think it's like, you know, you take it for what it is. It really doesn't register like that, you know? But I guess like if you're talking to like to an everyday fan or just like an outside fan like that, it's an easy way to say like, hey, I got traded to, you know, the Red Sox. And then they'll be like I've never done this either. So I don't want it to be like that, but I'm just saying like the mind would be easy to be like, oh yeah, I got traded for Mookie Betts. And then people already know Mookie and they're like, oh, you must be good too. You know? So it's like, but it doesn't really, I don't think of it like that. I don't say that stuff. Like I think Mookie's a great player and all that. It's just like my mind, like that's why I feel like I was meant to play here. I was meant to kind of be a part of this trade too. It's just like I don't get fazed by this. Like this doesn't bother me, man. Like all I know is like, hey, if I take care of myself, my body, and if I get myself right every single day to go out there and play, like my performance, my eyes, like everything will do what I need to do. You know what I mean? Like the numbers will be there in the end. Like the bats I put, I just feel like it all works out. Like it's cool to be part of that trade, but you know, I don't think about it like that. Like it's just, Mookie's got to go out there and perform as well. You know, he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders with having a big contract and things like that. So it's like whatever way you want to take it, you know, anybody can, you know, or Mookie could just say, hey, I'm Mookie Betts and I've done this and I know I'm going to snap out of it. And I know I'm going to be crushing it again. So it's like, you know, it's all mindset and it's all like what you want to let yourself get sunk in. You want to have a pity party. You want to play that, you know, oh, I'm victim. Like you're going to fall into that mindset. Like, or you want to say like, I'm going to go get what I need. Like I'm going to get done what has to get done. And if you have that, like you find ways to overcome a lot of obstacles.
It's great perspective. So it wasn't that dumb a question, I guess.
Oh, not too dumb. No,
it wasn't my best, but it was average.
Yeah, I mean, it was all right. You know, I figured Mookie's got to get brought up one time to me.
Yeah, at some point. That's why, you know, I'm just a generic cliched sports host. That's what happens sometimes. I will say this: Mookie's got great bling game. He does not have Verdugo chain stuff. Have you always been a big time chain guy? And what goes into selecting a great chain?
So like for me, I've always said like, man, like when I get a little bit of money, when I do whatever, like I gotta get some gold. Like I get some diamonds, like, you know, and I like now too, especially it's like, I just love it, dude. I really do. I just love the look of it. I feel like I have ADHD, you know, never been tested for it. So like, don't quote me on that. But, yeah, I just feel like when I'm out there in the outfield, like, you know, if I'm anywhere, like the sun will start hitting the diamonds and like start reflecting like all, you know, if I'm in a car, starts like going on the ceiling. I'm like, oh, whoa. Like if I'm outside, like, you know, like I just like to look at it, man. It just, you know, I really like to look at it. It just, something about it just kind of triggers something in my mind where I'm like, dude, like these things are shiny, bright. I don't know. I get lost in them and I'm just like, you know, I really like this. This is cool. But I'm always doing something, man. Always messing around, always moving a little bit, you know, especially on the field when I'm like locked in. Cause I just like, I'm like, I can't stay still. Come on.
I always wondered though, doesn't that shit weigh you down? Like when you're sliding, doesn't it hurt? Bounces into your chest? I always wondered about that.
So this one isn't too bad though. It is like I don't have my other ones on right now. I got to get them cleaned, but I have some, like so the shorter one that you see like by my thumbs, that kind of crushes your like collarbone right here. Like that bad boy I have, because like the clasp on it is super fat too. And sometimes it rotates and it just goes pop, pop right on each collarbone. The other Cuban that's lower, it's not too bad right there. That's more like your chest muscles. You're good. The 9-9 one it gets tough. Actually, I think yesterday before the game, I was hitting and in the cage, and like I took a swing and the chain went straight up like this, and it didn't like slide through its through the, you know, the little links, and it just went pop right in my eyeball, and like I was like, oh. My that was like blurry for like a solid, like probably like solid 2 minutes. I was like, oh man, that was a tough one, dude. Cause like it just happened so quick. Like I didn't even get a chance to blink. It just got in there. I just,
dude, if you chip a tooth and end up looking like Strahan, I'm gonna laugh my ass off, bro.
I think I have chipped a tooth before. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I have slightly cracked teeth, right? Like, you know, I got a gap already. So, you know, I'm living it. I'm living it right now.
All right, listen, we're going to play a little game. We're going to call it Alex in Chains. And since you're our jewelry expert, I'm going to show you 3 chains, and I want you to grade them on a scale of 1 to 5 diamonds, 5 being the best. So let's start with Yermin Mercedes of the other Sox, the Chicago White Sox. We've seen some bling on him. How do you grade his jewelry collection?
I think I seen one the other day too where he had so many on. It was nuts. But nah, he's for sure. He's got flow. He's got that real like Latin flow too. You know, obviously it's just He wears a lot of it. I mean, I'm in on it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like it. I gotta say, depending on it, I gotta see up close, see the quality. But I mean, I'll give him like a. What'd you say? Was a 5 the highest?
Yeah.
I'll give him like a 4.5. 4.5.
That's great. Okay, he'll take that, I'm sure. Let's go a little old school on you. Yoenis Cespedes.
Cespedes, hey, didn't he have a time where his whole thing blew up on the bases though?
Hell yes. And as Drupal Cabrera, the next inning at shortstop, started picking up all the diamonds so he could turn it into a bracelet.
Those are good sized diamonds too. I would gotta say he's probably got. I'd give him like 5. I bet the clarity, like the quality. I bet you it's like super. It was super nice. And for somebody to find the diamonds sparkling through the ground like that, like they got to be decent sized diamonds too.
I mean, you got to call out a search party. You know, Julio Jones, of course, who just got traded from the Falcons to the Titans a bunch of years ago, lost his diamond earrings in a lake during the summer and hired a recovery crew to go find him. So here they are all over. Here's the Cespedes diamonds, dude.
Yeah, those are sweet, dude. Those are sweet.
Look at that.
And then he throws the rest. I like how he throws it though. He just said, I don't know. That's savage. If it was me, time, get the metal detector or get something that oh my gosh. That is nuts.
That's some funny stuff. All right, here comes the last one. And we just got introduced to the home run swag chain this year by the San Diego Padres.
Yep.
What do we think of that on a scale of 1 to 5?
Dude, I love it. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's so sick. I think it's hilarious. I would love to feel it, to see the quality. Obviously, if it's like really kind of like flimsy or weak or something, it's really gonna put it's gonna weigh heavy on my heart. You know what I mean? It's gonna be sad. I'm gonna say, oh man, it's tough. But if it has some weight to it, if it feels sturdy and feels solid and like it's good, oh man, I'm all in on that chain though. I love it.
So that's a 5. You got.
That's a 5, easy, dude. Yeah, every time you hit a homer to put on a fat chain like that, dude, and then you could spin it. Oh, bro, that'd be sick.
Hosmer told me I think it weighs like 6.5 pounds or something.
Yeah, that's perfect. Then that's perfect. Honestly, I want to see what they made it out of, man, because that thing is sweet. It's sweet.
You got any boys on the Padres you could call?
I mean, I could probably hit up Hosmer. Hosmer, we're boys. I don't hit him up like that, but I do really enjoy that team.
Because they've
got some guys that, yeah.
Hey man, you guys brought the basket in, the laundry basket. I mean, I never thought I would see a day in Boston where you'd be all rolling a guy through the freaking dugout in a laundry basket.
I know, but it was actually Kevin Pilecki's idea, man. It was hilarious though, but yeah, it's just it kind of stuck, you know. It stuck. It's one of those things. We did it, and it happened, and the boys liked it. We started adding like towels into the basket, like in the higher that it is, so it's more comfortable. You don't have to be all the way down there. It's pretty hilarious, man. It was honestly, it's fun. Like when you get in there, it's like makes you want to hit a homer. You're like, this is kind of cool.
But you know, at some point, like it's cool now, but like the first guy that gets in there, you're like, what? You want me to get in? What? Like,
yeah. But then the excitement, you just do it, dude, and then you like never look back from it. That's a pioneer awesome. Right there.
That's pretty awesome. All right, before we let you go, we spin the wheel of moderately interesting things. So it'll land on a category. You'll give us the answer. And
that's hilarious.
Today, the category is tripping. So obviously we've been in quarantine the last year and a half. You haven't been able to vacation as much as you want. The next vacation you take in the off season, where do you want it to be? If you could go anywhere in the world.
Oh, that's not fair, man. You can't say that, because now you're going anywhere in the world, and that's out of my price range. Because if we were going in reality,
Okay.
I'm probably gonna like I really wanted to go to Hawaii or like Europe. You know what I mean? I want to make those those two would be really cool. If we're talking like my dream you want to do, I don't even know. Like, I know Dubai would be super cool.
Ooh.
Like, I just, I would want to go, like, there's places that I don't even know. I don't even know of. So it's like, I don't even know where my dream place would be. I would have to look at a map or like have like somebody show me like, hey, these are some of the top 10 craziest, most extravagant places. And then I'd probably look at them and see them and be like, wow, I would want to go to those. But like, off top, I feel like I've seen Dubai. Like, I know Dubai would be super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of experience that would be dope.
So you got to, I've never been to Dubai either because I'm not in that financial weight class. But when you sign your 9-figure deal, because it's coming to somewhere down the road, I'm just telling you, go to Dubai.
Oh, I want to. I want to see what it's about, dude. See everything, man. It'd be super cool.
That's awesome. We'll finish it up with this. I know the All-Star voting is going on. What would it mean to you to make an All-Star team?
I mean, it would mean a lot. Obviously, it's one of the higher things that you can get as a player. It stays on your resume forever. My biggest thing is it would just be recognition, like, people understanding like what I bring to the game every single day, because I feel like we get caught into a world where all we talk about is homers. All we look at is like, homers or OPS or things like that, but it doesn't really contribute to the every single day aspect of it. The grinding out every single at bat, the table setting, not necessarily the RBI hits, but what about the doubles or the singles that, were hit just before, that put the next guy in the best position to thrive. And so like, that's my thing is I feel like I know my value. I know that I impact the game in a lot of different ways and I can help the team win in a lot of different ways. So, yeah, just if I am an all-star, that's amazing. If I'm not, if I don't make it this year, then, it is what it is. Nothing changes because I still know the type of player I am. And all it really is just means that like your name needs to get out there more, fans need to vote for you more because it's really like a popularity contest.
Of course it is.
In some regards.
Well, listen, you're doing what you can. You on the field, you're playing the game the way I like to see it played. You go alley to alley, which is fun. You run, you play defense. It's fun. So you just keep doing your thing on the field, and fans are gravitating toward you. It's pretty simple, man. Don't change who you are.
No,
I know
never,
you're a young
never.
dude, and you're not going to change. And so it's fun for us to watch you do your thing. And now that they're allowing packed houses out there in the American League East, I think it's even going to be more fun for you. So you definitely
exactly. It's going to be so cool, bro. I do enjoy the fans and interacting with road guys and everything like that. So it is great, because like I do have a good supporting cast too. There's a lot of people that show me love and always reaching out in my DMs and seeing stuff on Twitter where they're just thanking me for, just taking time or things like that. So those are the cool interactions and the things that get me fired up. Cause a lot of people would just kind of walk away or try to get in their car and leave right away. It's like, to spend some time to make a little kid's day or make some people's days that's the biggest thing for me.
That's damn good. Last thing, can Alex Verdugo, the pitcher, strike out Alex Verdugo, the hitter?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
I love it. Go shit talk yourself and video that for us.
I already do. I do, man. I do. I'm telling you, I try. I'm like, I'm the hardest guy on myself. It's crazy. Like I have all this energy and this fun and stuff like that, but also like when the competitor comes out of me, like I'm one of the hardest guys on myself, and I expect to come through and do stuff for the guys and just be the guy that people can kind of like like lean on and just know like, hey man, he's got us, bro. He's gonna come through.
Well, keep doing your thing. I enjoyed the conversation, man. I know you gave us a lot of time today, and thank you for doing that. I know our viewers and our listeners out there appreciate it as well. So it was a good time today, man.
No, of course, Chris. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you having me, man. A lot of fun.
Continued success. We appreciate everybody joining us here on the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of Jomboy Media. Special shout out to our editor extraordinaire, Robbie Scirocco, and our intern, Alden Stone. We'll see you next time on the show.